It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Dark Star Brewing Company, and on Food O'Clock Real Ale Craft Beer we have some Mr. Porky English Mustard Crispy Strips. 32 grams. I'd say the only downside with this, and I suppose you have to be a little bit careful with home bargains, is that these were £1 a bag. And okay, if you were in a pub, you'd buy these for £1 a bag because that's how much snacks cost in a pub these days, probably a little bit more. So home bargains, a place where you kind of like, it's in your mind, isn't it? You're going to get something super cheap in there. £1 a bag, I was thinking, maybe 70p, 50p, 70p. Perhaps I'm living in the past. A very recent past where things weren't that cheap, but things are quite expensive these days, aren't they? The beer is from Dark Star Brewing Company. It's called Starlink IPA. A 5.5% ABV beer in a 440ml can, described as a hoppy West Coast IPA. And it's Starlink, isn't it? It's the internet of the future. It's all of the satellites connecting up to create this one big internet signal in the sky. From our friend Mr. Musk. Perhaps that's the reason why this is in home bargains for £1.50 a can. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. It was previously owned by Fuller's Brewing Company. They were an independent company. They were bought out by Fuller's, and then Fuller's themselves got themselves bought out by Asahi. So they're a multi-corporate entity now at Dark Star Brewing Company. I do like a West Coast IPA. I really do. One of my favourite styles of beer. Lager has crept from nowhere. It was one of my favourite styles of beer, especially Czech, German lager. Weiss beers, wit beers, they're my favourite styles of beer these days. West Coast IPA, West Coast Pale Ales, not far behind. I like that kind of raw bitterness of a West Coast IPA. So good levels of carbonation on the beer. Amber beer in the glass, one finger whitehead. A little bit of haze in there. Not much in the way of sediment in the bottom of the glass. Let's get the aroma. It smells good, that. It smells really good. Juicy, tropical, in a West Coast sense, in a kind of lemon, grapefruit, orange peel sense. Smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Where's the bitterness? I found this recently with these Westies, these sort of almost like second generation of West Coast IPA, this second reincarnation, if you like, of the West Coast IPA. Let's have a, before I, make my final decision on the bitterness of the beer, let's get in there again. There is some bitterness there. There is that kind of tangerine, grapefruit, orange peel flavour. But it's almost as if New England IPA has completely ruined IPA. It's almost as if brewers are scared these days to make a proper West Coast IPA with proper bitterness. I had one recently from Northern Monk, which I picked up in Morrison's for £3.50 a can. And it was doing more or less the same as this. It was offering up those kind of pithy, peely flavours, the orange peel, the orange, the grapefruit, the lemon pithiness. And then you're waiting for that bitterness to really pound you, like the good old West Coast IPAs from the 2010s would have done. But it doesn't. There's some bitterness there, but it's almost as if they've turned it into this almost like New England style, where the flavours are centralised, the flavours are in the middle. Whereas for me, personally, a good Westie should smack you in the side of the mouth with the bitterness. I mean, what's your opinion with it? Are you happy that you're getting all of the flavour of a West Coast IPA, but lacking the bitterness? Are you happy that the beers these days are lacking the bitterness? I remember the days of Crazy Mike, 100 IBU IPA, which would absolutely punish your taste buds. Stone's Ruination, 100 IBU. It was all about how much bitter. Then you had Macalla with 1,000 IBU beer. It was all about how much bitterness you could extract from the hops. And I liked that. I really liked it in beer. We'll get back to this. But I want to talk about these Mr. Porky's English Mustard Crispy Strips first. Whoa. My instinct is that these could be a little bit like the Brannigans, apart from it's pork skin rather than potato crisp. But we all remember the Brannigans, don't we? The ham and mustard. Ham and mustard Brannigans, they were fantastic. Oh. They are fantastic. The mustard tingles your tongue. Proper mustard flavour. Slightly, do you know when mustard or horseradish catches your nostrils and you're like, ooh. Chili doesn't really do that, but a good mustard and a good horseradish, if you're a bit greedy with it on your beef or your pork, it will catch your nostrils. These are actually doing that a little bit. Oh, there's some burnt ones as well. Have a look. There's some burned, like toasted crispy end ones. The mustard on these is incredible. The crispness is lovely. They're thinner as well, so you're not having that kind of massive knuckle of a pork scratching. These are almost like a redesigned version of a pork scratching for 2025. Still pork rind and pork fat. But that mustard on there is incredible. Nine out of 10 for the pork scratching. As for the beer, for £1.50 a can, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm just reminiscing, that's all, of the good old Westies of the past that would smack you around the mouth with bitterness. This isn't really doing it. Might be just a case that this is where West Coast IPAs sit these days, and that I'm just old-fashioned and that I've been drinking beer forever, and I remember what West Coast IPAs used to be about. Pardon me. There's nothing wrong with the beer. There's no off flavours. There's no reason why you shouldn't buy this in Home Bargains for £1.50 a can. But I still miss the bitterness, so I'm going to give this. I'm stuck between a 6 and a 7. I think I'm going to give it a 7 because of the price. It's cheap. It's £1.50 a can. 7 out of 10. But I do long for that bitterness. I do. I miss it. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.